That's awesome.
But how old are you?
I'm going to be 35 in October.
Oh, okay. All right. So you know what's up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what we're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember. But I didn't remember the mix CD thing until you just said that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I remember that too.
How has dating in your 30s been and like compared to your 20s? Like, do you feel like you've gained a lot of wisdom, or how does it compare? Do you have any thoughts?
Do you have any advice for younger? A lot of our listeners are in their 20s, like early 20s. So always want someone with
I was
wisdom.
like, this is the thing that I learned.
Yeah.
That I didn't know before.
That you
Maybe
wish
it's
you
okay if
knew in
don't,
your
but-
early 20s.
Or have you always just been like on top of it?
No.
That's fine.
Do you know about attachment types or attachment theory? Mm-mm. It's like, well, there's a book called Attached, and people are like, you're either anxious where like you really want someone to love and like they get like kind of clingy, or there's like the avoidant types that like the chase, but then someone gets close to them and then they don't want it anymore.
And then they run away.
You seem like a very secure, like you're not like one or the other.
That is a compliment because that's like the hardest one to be.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest to
I
accomplish.
don't know, but this is
there's
just
those
my,
3?
Yeah, this is just my.
No, there's 4.
Oh.
Right?
There's like some that are in between, I think.
We talk about it all the time that we should know it like by now, but
Attached, avoidant, secure, and then there's one more?
It's like a mix of the two, like anxious avoidant or something like that, or dismissive avoidant.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the secure all about?
Secure
Let's hear
is
more about that.
like you.
I'm going to find it right now.
Okay.
You're like
You want me to hold your mic for you?
No, I got it.
it's like you're if you don't let other people's energies like really, you're not like thrown off by it. Like for example, if usually anxious and avoidance are attracted to each other because the anxious person they like get really invested and really attached to the person, but then the avoidant likes the attention, but then they don't want, and then they like start pulling away. And so it's this like back and forth.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of like that, though.
Oh, really?
Like I like the attention. Well, I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
like
I'm
you
a
might
mix.
be avoidant? Well, here, let me
Yeah.
read the
And
secure.
it also can change, but depending on who you're dating too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
feel
certain
like-
people can make you more anxious or more avoidant depending on their styles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here, I'm going to read the secure one.
Okay.
And let me know if you relate to it.
Okay.
Okay, so overall, it's a positive view of self and positive view of others. So far, so good.
Okay.
I don't
Continue.
know. I was just assuming, but
Yeah.
maybe you're something else.
Well, let's
We'll
see.
see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Securely attached people tend to agree with the following statements. So let's see if you agree with these. It is relatively easy for me to become emotionally close to others. I am comfortable depending on others and having others depend on me. I don't worry about being alone or others not accepting me.
Disagree.
Okay, all right.
Never
so I
mind.
guess we're not so secure.
Never mind. I take it back.
Well, let's see. Maybe let's look at the avoidant one. Well, there's different kinds of avoidant. There's dismissive avoidant. There's fearful avoidant. Oh, that's it.
Ugh, this sounds like a lot.
I'll do it the brief.
There's quizzes that you can do online and it'll tell you.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Well, dismissive avoidant is positive view of self and negative view of others.
Oh, interesting.
Here, I'll dig a little deeper. People with a dismissive style of avoidant attachment tend to agree with these statements. I am comfortable without close emotional relationships. It is important to me to feel independent and self-sufficient. And I prefer not to depend on others or have others depend on me.
No?
I feel like
Not
it's
so
too
much.
too gray. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if I could take that quiz and just be like, yes, no. Like
Right.
it's
Well, when you take the quiz, they like phrase it in ways that are easier,
yeah. Like
that it will like pinpoint like what you are.
yeah.
But
Well, okay. I'll just say this.
Yeah.
Like in my 20s, I feel like I was less self-confident. And probably did rely on like having a partner more. Not that I like always had to be in a relationship, because I definitely didn't. And if I didn't feel like it was right, I would break up with whoever I was with. But I definitely like depended on my partner more for like validation or like, you know, reassurance or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even just like, you know, having something to do. Whereas now that I'm in my 30s and I just feel like I'm way more stable with like my career and like what I'm doing with my life. And I feel like satisfied with that and like with the choices that I am making, I guess. And so I don't think at this point I like would rely on a partner as much for like my feelings of self-worth or whatever. It's like, because before it's like, oh, you like me? Oh, that means that I'm like good.
Totally.
But now it's more of just like, I want a partner just because I want a partner.
Yeah.
And you're not like, you don't like me? That means I suck.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Because it comes from within and not from external validation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, I do still think I suck but like, not really.
Yeah. I mean,
We
no
all
one
think we suck a little.
Yeah.
but just because I'm like a human,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
like I'm just
Totally.
like, ugh, I'm a disgusting
It would be
human.
a problem
This
if you
sucks.
thought you were perfect.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, before, like if somebody like, I feel like even sometimes I would try to break up with people before they broke up with me, just to like make sure that it didn't happen to me, because if it happened to me, like that would be a reflection on how good of a person I am.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
was like that too for most of my dating life. Also, just like really not even wanting to admit it or realize it. And I was probably even more intense, but like really valuing like seeing myself in the way that men would treat me. Like I would be like, well, I must suck if all these guys don't want to date me or whatever the fuck. Like really letting it affect my view of myself if they didn't want to date me. And most of them didn't. So. But yeah, it does change as you get older. It really does.
Yeah.
So
Which
you probably,
I think seems natural though too.
Yeah.
Like-
you figure out who you are more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
stop giving as many fucks. You're just
Totally.
like, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what has happened to me anyway.
you probably started off with a more anxious attachment style, which is what I had. And then like as you get older, it changes. So maybe now it's leaning more towards secure.
Yeah,
Something like
hopefully.
that. Yeah.
That sounds better.
Yeah, I think it's a progression. It makes sense. Yeah. That's cool. Congrats.
Thank you. Well, you know, every day is another learning process, another opportunity.
That's true.
Well, what do you... I'm trying to think of how I can wrap this up with your relationship now. Are there like any, from your past relationships, are there any lessons you've learned that you're now using in this relationship? You know what I mean? Like what's happening in your relationship now that you think is making it work the right way that maybe it hadn't worked in the past?
Oh, yeah.
For a really long time, I have known that like the thing I want most in this life is true love.
Wow.
Like I want that more than I want anything else in life. And like we talked about earlier, like little girls being like, I dream of having a wedding.
Yeah.
But like my dream has always been to like have like a soulmate and have like a true like love. And
it's not about the celebration and the wedding and stuff. It's about having a person and just having the
Just
actual
finding
relationship.
that partner.
Yeah.
yeah, and just somebody that will just be with you and like that you can rely on and be like your best friend that you can like go through life with and just have fun and everything and be with for a really long time. Like I don't want to just like keep dating like this person and that person. I want to be with somebody for a really long time. And I always like told myself that's what I wanted, but when I actually looked at it, that wasn't what I was going for. Like I would always be like, oh, this guy's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just
a
go
lot of
with
my
them.
20s, it was just like, this is fine for now.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're cool. Yeah, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. Like
Yeah.
you're good looking and you're cool and you seem to like me. So like, yeah, let's do this. But
Yeah.
but then, you know, yeah, when you like examine it, it's like maybe true love can spring out of that, but when like the foundation isn't really there,
Yeah.
like we'll say the foundation was never really there.
Yeah.
So it never worked out. And so that's kind of something that especially like just recently I like really like took a look at that and was like, if I really want true love and that's like going to be my goal, then I need to make that my priority.
Yeah.
And
How did you do that? Did you like do that by like communicating with the person you're with now and like saying like, did you have a conversation about your like their future goals and like how they align or?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but it was mostly like, I don't know, having that conversation with Alexi.
Oh, okay.
And like a recent tarot reading that my friend gave me also helped, where like I didn't think much of it at the time, but then like after the person that I dated before this guy that I'm with now, that experience actually like helped me a lot to be like, I'm putting like emphasis on the wrong things.
Yeah.
And I keep doing that over and over and over.
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to like, I don't know, just like throw away all my pretensions or whatever and just try to find a person that's a good person, you know, that like I vibe with. And so I don't know, it just kind of, maybe it was just something like clicked in my brain and my energy reflected that or something like that. And then now I met this guy and he's pretty great. So
that is interesting. Yeah. I love that you say also like just admitting like true love is what you want. Like I feel like some people are
So many
scared to
people are
say
like,
things like that.
I'm fine. Like I don't need anything. Like and
It's vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's very vulnerable to just admit like blankly like I fucking want true love, you know? But it's true. We all do on some level.
yeah. Well, and I think some people say that though too, but they don't. They believe it, but they don't like.
They don't know
really want that, or they think they want that, but they don't know what that is or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't know what it would look like for them.
Yeah.
Right, and I guess that's what I was doing for a long time too. Like I was
totally.
like, I want true love, but then
But that's like, what does that mean?
my behavior didn't really
Yeah.
reflect that.
But once you figure it out and you like figure out what the things are that you really, what that means to you, you like see people differently. Like all of a sudden, like, you know, because we date men, like the men that we see are different all of a sudden where it's like, oh, 5 years ago, I would have been all over you. Like I would have been on you right now. But now that I know I want different things, like you are not attractive to me the way that you would have been like a few years ago.
Yes, exactly.
And then other people start becoming attractive in that way where you're like, oh, I see the qualities in you that are really what I've been looking for this whole time. That I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happened here in your situation, you
Totally.
think?
Yeah. Because okay, so I was on Raya, right? And like almost every
By
guy
the way, you're the first Raya success story I've ever heard of, I think. I'm
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
sure. Yeah.
I totally thought Alexi met her boyfriend on Raya.
Oh,
No,
if she
because
did,
she was on Raya and she only dated people on Raya, and then she like didn't meet anyone, and then she downloaded Tinder, and that's how she met.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense because
Yeah.
all the guys on Raya are fucking douchebags.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and a lot of them are like wannabe actors or even actual actors.
Yeah.
So a lot of them
Totally.
are famous and a lot of them are like models.
Yep.
And it's like almost every person I saw on there
Yep.
was like shirtless, like super like cut and just like very beautiful.
Yeah, they have like headshots and like
Right, yeah. And like I was just like, ew.
Yeah.
Like
gross.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you're good looking and whatever, but like that, and it actually helped me like realize, like I was like, I don't want that, like
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And I can tell that you're a douchebag, you know, and like it is kind of funny how you can just tell from like
Yeah.
Totally.